Good evening. I'm Dr. Fred Rouse, the Real Money Doctor, and it's currently Wednesday. Where are we at here? Today is the 3rd, actually, of June, and it's just a couple of minutes after 7 o'clock. So we're close to on time here, as good as I normally get with a time situation. And again, I'm here today to retouch on the events that affect the way you get, protect, and enjoy your money, your life, and your retirement. And the thought for today is hydroxychloroquine, still in the news. Okay, and I'll get to that in just a few minutes. For now, we start off every day with the current number of COVID cases. Some people are beginning to think this is not quite the big deal anymore. We'll talk about that after I run through some of those numbers, though. Right now, the current number of cases are 1,847,000 cases in the U.S. right now. Okay. That's close to 20,000 new cases overnight. Not quite, just under 20,000 new cases overnight. The deaths right now are at 107,000 people that have died, basically, in the last 12, 13, 14 weeks or so. That's close to 1,000 from yesterday. 195 people have died since yesterday from COVID. New York State still has the largest number of cases in the country, 374,000 cases. Okay. And they picked up another 1,000 cases overnight. Their deaths right now are at 30,119. That's another 151 people have died in New York State since yesterday. New Jersey still has the second highest number of cases, with 162,000 cases. Okay. That's up 520 odd cases or so since yesterday. Their current deaths in New Jersey are 11,880. That's up 109 people from yesterday. Cases are for number 2, 3, 4, and through 10 are Illinois, okay, California, where we got here, Massachusetts, and then Pennsylvania again is number 6. Texas is number 7. Michigan is number 8. Okay. Florida has the 9th number of confirmed cases, and Maryland rounds out the top 10 with a number of confirmed cases, being close to 54,000 right now. The death rates in New Jersey and New York have obviously dropped down from where they were a month or so ago, but they're still having people dying. And, the cases keep rolling in. The number of cases keep rolling in. Number of people dying keep rolling in. Okay, this is happening as all 50 states have reopened to some degree. There's still no treatment. There's still no vaccine. Even though, okay, just saw this today. I think this was mentioned a couple of days ago. I didn't mention it, but I noticed it on the news. There's no vaccine right now. Everybody in the world is scrambling around trying to get this vaccine put together. And Dr. Fauci, who is pretty much a gold standard in medicine, as far as this pandemic is all about, he's saying that they're going to start producing a vaccine, okay, and he expects close to 1 million doses of it before the end of the year. Now, they're going to be producing the vaccine even before they know whether or not it works, which is an interesting thing. Okay, so they're trying to get a jump on the production, hoping that the trials, when they come through, are going to say that, yeah, it's okay to use. Now, one person yesterday, after the show, I noticed he made some comments. He was kind enough to actually be watching the show, which was really nice. Okay, and he was actually kind enough to actually take some time and give me his thoughts. And he thought that the pandemic was over and done with, and he wanted to let me know that. And I appreciate that. I appreciate the fact he was watching. I appreciate he took the time to send me a little message. And if you like the video, please, like, share, comment. I don't have a problem with that. I appreciate that. I did have to remind him, however, that it's not over, okay, for the people that are being diagnosed every day, or the families and friends and coworkers of close to 1,000 people right now who just died overnight. So I appreciate his thoughts, but unless you or your family are directly, okay, involved, a lot of people seem to think that it's okay with the current number of deaths. Okay. At this point in time, wearing masks is still 50-50, depending on where you're going, whether they think masks are good things or not. Same thing with social distancing. And they think that their current situation is livable for them. Again, if you don't have firsthand information on this, if you don't know someone who's personally been affected by this, then this is just, it's something in the news. It's not real. It's a major inconvenience for you. However, if you're one of the people in the front lines just treating somebody that has COVID, or one of your family members has had it, okay, it's a real situation, and the pandemic is nowhere near over. Now, with everything that's going on, okay, people taking this a lot more lightly than they were 2 months ago. Chances are, in a few weeks, there's going to be some spikes in different parts of the country, depending on what activities they were involved in. And we'll get to that a little bit. But that basically brings me to the thought for today is hydroxychloroquine. It's still in the news. And in a study just published today in New England Journal of Medicine, okay, hydroxychloroquine did not prevent healthy people exposed to COVID-19 from actually getting the disease caused by the coronavirus. Now, this study is the first randomized clinical study that tested the anti-malaria drug touted by the president as a preventative measure. Okay, it clearly showed hydroxychloroquine was no more effective than a placebo. In this case, they were giving people vitamins. Okay, in protecting people exposed to COVID-19. Now, according to William Schaffner, okay, professor of preventive medicine and infectious diseases at Vanderbilt, okay, as we say in Tennessee, that dog just won't hunt. It didn't work. That's what he said. Must be a good old boy there. He was not involved in the study, although he was happy with the way it was done. Very, very rigorous study is what he said. Now, researchers at the University of Minnesota Medical School launched a trial in mid-March or so. They enrolled over 800 adults in the United States and Canada who were exposed to someone that had COVID because of their jobs or their healthcare workers or first responders, or because they lived with someone who had a disease. Now, the study was randomized. It was a randomized placebo-controlled study, okay, and it was double-blinded, meaning that neither the participants nor the researchers themselves knew what participants were receiving. Okay, they didn't know if they had the drug or they had the placebo as part of being a randomized study. Now, a study such as this is considered the gold standard when you're doing clinical trials. Now, the results were the latest development on a highly charged medical and political issue, the efficacy of hydroxychloroquine in combating COVID-19. Now, President Trump, and it's on and off repeatedly, okay, touted this drug as a game changer in COVID-19, and he recently said he took it for a number of days. But federal regulators have already said it should only be used in hospitalized patients or in clinical trials because of the possible side effects, including serious heart rhythm issues. Now, adding to the controversy surrounding the drug, okay, the large observational study of hydroxychloroquine that Lancet did not too long ago, their study was published in May, and Lancet's a big journal. It's an old school journal. It's been around for years. Okay. They don't mess around. This is very serious stuff. They don't do things on the edges of things. And they published this study. And from their records, okay, hundreds of hospitalized patients involved, 96,000 hospitalized coronavirus patients on 6 different continents. They found in this study that they published, those who received hydroxychloroquine or a closely related drug, chloroquine, had significantly higher deaths than those who did not. Shortly after the publication, however, the World Health Organization suspended the use of hydroxychloroquine, okay, in a large international trial testing for therapies for the disease. And France actually banned the treatment. Now, in recent days, scientists have raised some questions about the validity of the data used in that study. On Tuesday, The Lancet, published an expression of concern about the study. They said the researchers in a statement that they're conducting an independent review of the data, which came from an outside company. Among other things, critics are skeptical that so many health records could have been collected in such a short period of time, and have cited inconsistencies about the dosing information also. In addition, the company that had not explained the methodology, and scientists are not really happy with that. Now, the WHO, in the meanwhile, resumed its trial of hydroxychloroquine, saying its safety experts concluded that there was no reason to really discontinue it at this time. Now, the prevention trial, released on Wednesday, showed 40% of the participants who took this drug developed side effects. They weren't serious, but mostly nausea, upset stomach, and diarrhea. The study found no serious side effects or cardiac complications. Now, in addition, the findings really reinforced those of the previous studies, showing the drug does not provide any benefit for COVID-19. It's not surprising that given there has not been any efficacy established for this drug in any meaningful way, according to Eric Toole, director of Swipe Research and Translational Institute in San Diego, is not a large study, but it extends the spectrum from the most severely ill to mildly ill and now preventative. Gene Marazzo, an infectious disease expert at University of Alabama in Birmingham, said that the results should provide a very big nail in the coffin for the idea that hydroxychloroquine can really help prevent COVID-19. Now, David Bulwer, an infectious disease specialist at University of Minnesota and senior investigator of the study, said that he launched a trial because hydroxychloroquine had shown an activity in a lab setting against coronavirus. And lab setting is nice, but then you got to take it out and find out what's happening with real people. Now, about 2/3 of the trial participants were healthcare workers, and the rest were a mix of other people exposed to someone with COVID, he said. They were given either hydroxychloroquine or placebo for 5 days, and then followed for 2 weeks to see who developed the disease. The participants were recruited on the internet through social media. Their eligibility was confirmed with documents, and then the team sent medications overnight via Federal Express. Given the political sensitivities of the issue, Boer said it was important that the participants really didn't know who was getting the drug and who was getting the placebo. So if some were for Trump and some were not for Trump, that would all be washed out because it was double-blinded. Again, no one knew what they were taking. So there could be no political bias in this study. Overall, about 12% given the drug developed COVID-19, while 14% given the placebo also, not a statistical difference, developed COVID. Now, there was no benefit for people who took zinc or vitamin C. Bulwer said the analysis tried to drill down on whether or not subgroups by race or occupation or age or comorbidities had any hint of benefit, but he said they just couldn't find anything. One of the weaknesses in the trials, he said, is that testing is really not widely available during the time of the trial. And their analysis used a combination of lab-confirmed positive COVID cases and the symptoms to count somebody as infected or not. So there you have it, The Lancet, an extremely old school and a respected journal, is questioning the study they published concerning hydroxychloroquine. The New England Journal of Medicine, also an extremely respected publication, professional journal, published a randomized, placebo-controlled study that was double-blinded, meaning that neither participants nor the researchers knew what the participants were actually receiving. This is really considered the gold standard of any clinical trial. And at a minimum, both studies, clearly indicate there's no effectiveness in taking hydroxychloroquine. So much for that. What else happened today? Well, elsewhere in the news, you've probably already seen. It looks like the president yesterday, day before, ordered the National Guard and police to clear lawful and peaceful demonstration with mounted police, rubber bullets, tear gas, flashbang grenades, and a military helicopter so he can get a photo op in front of a church holding a Bible that he doesn't read. Now, the act was so egregious that religious leaders called it blasphemous, and it prompted demonstrations in several countries showing sympathy for the American people. Okay, this is really weird. You've got people in other countries getting together because they feel so bad for us. Times have changed. Times have changed a lot. The American people, the country of America, the United States, have really lost a lot of position in the world. It really has. We're basically the laughing stock of the world at this point in time. Nobody can believe that the American people would put up with an administration that does this thing. It's like a banana republic, basically. And they don't expect that from the United States of America. However, the original underlying cause, okay, of the protest that, turned into riots and looting, the actual murder of George Floyd while in police custody, okay, has led to the official charging of all four fired police officers. Now, many parts of the states have opened up basically as the Memorial Day weekend because the weather broke, okay, and it's summertime mode. The stock market closed today over 26,000, first time in a while now. However, there's still a major disconnect between Wall Street and what's happening on Main Street, as many mom and pops, as well as some major retailers, are having a really, really hard time, and that's likely to continue for quite a while. So those are just some of the major events that affect the way you get, protect, and enjoy your money, your life, and your retirement on the macro level. But what does that really all mean to you on a personal level? And that's what I wanted to talk about. Okay, if you were 50 plus in January and you were thinking about retiring in the next 3 to 5 years or longer, has any of this really affected your long-term goal? I mean, if you were 50 in December, 50 in January, and you're thinking about retiring, all these things happened. Did it really change the fact that you'd still like to retire at some point in time? Right now, it's a few months later. You're still 50 plus. You'd still like to retire at some point. Only now, you're even more uncertain that you can make that happen. Okay, your plan A was shaky before all this happened. Okay, it's total shambles right now. You needed a plan B before, but you kept putting it off, thinking that things, you'd have another day. Well, one pandemic, plus one economic shutdown, plus one crazy administration later, and you're still pretty much on your own. No one was helping you before. You only have you to help yourself right now. And only now, it's much, much more obvious and time sensitive because you're getting older every day and your money is not growing anywhere near as fast as you're aging. Now, if you're at the point that you realize now that you have very few options, if any at all, okay, other than working until the day you die, if your health actually holds up that well, okay, then maybe you're at a point where you know now that you need to take control of your life and your money. You had a feeling before, but maybe now you're actually willing to take some action to that effect just to get that done. Okay? And a lot of people, they need an event to spur them to action. Well, if you were complacent before, maybe now you're ready to take some action to get something done for yourself. Now, I'm a retired certified financial planner. I'm a multiple best-selling author. I spent close to 40 years working with select individuals and small businesses with 0 to 6 employees. I've shown them, and I can show you, how to get control back in your life, how to get the cash flow you'll need, okay, so that you can retire, hopefully within the next 3 to 5 years. Now, I can't help everyone. I was never a major player like that. I'm not trying to build a multinational corporation or anything like that. Okay, I'm a little old retired guy, a little guinea guy from South Philadelphia. I enjoy my retirement. I enjoy spending time with my wife. But maybe I can help you. Okay, maybe I can help you. Go to my site, drrousnow.com. There's a 12-minute video there that explains the program that I put together. It took me over 10 years and $350,000 of research to do it, but it works as a nice program. Now, if you're interested, schedule a call, and we can at least talk to see if I can actually help. It doesn't cost you anything to watch the video or to schedule a call. You can't buy anything on the call. Okay, so there's no pressure because I tell you in the video, it's on the page, you can't buy anything on the call. Okay, as soon as we get on the call, I reiterate the fact that you can't buy anything on the call. Okay, the only reason for the call is I just want to see, do you really have a need or not? If you do, can I actually help you or not? And then third, do I think that we can actually work together? Okay, that's an important thing. Now, I'm Dr. Fred Rouse, the Real Money Doctor. My only goal is to help you get, protect, and enjoy your money, your life, and your retirement. Now, I appreciate spending some time with you tonight. I look forward to spending some time with you again tomorrow. Like and share the video. I'll post this on my YouTube channel, The Real Money Doctor, tomorrow, with some extra links in there, like I always do. But again, I appreciate your time, and I thank you.